So there's a totally stupid thing that I'm gonna just say because I can. Um, my dresser's collecting dust. And it makes me feel kind of bad because it's one of those like, hey, this is where I keep all my games and stuff. So, Magneton's pretty close. So, we got much more Pokemon. What was I doing? Collecting dust, and it makes me feel like, yeah, I don't know, just weird. Yeah, we have at least a full team to purify. These guys are set. Those guys don't have any room for any place to be put, right? Yeah, that's all full. Alright, that's what I wanted to check. It was just a very crappy way of doing it using the shadow monitor. So we're going to go through here now and combat our last area. Before we head back, purify those 6, maybe 7, considering Magneton's progress. What? You know what? When we do, we're going to go ahead and go harass this fucker too. I hope you're well. I wrote you a haiku poem. If team, snag 'em, goons, cause trouble in the desert, that's right, go and sandbag 'em. Well, that was dumb, but I guess motivational. I don't really know or care. So everyone on this side is crap and useless. And then over here is the actual fight. So you can see them standing around. I can see at least 1 guy, 2 guy, 3 guy, 4. So we're just gonna kick all their asses. I guess I'll just cut out this huge part completely then. So yeah. Or maybe I won't. I don't know. They don't seem to care. I just walk by, open the fucking box right in front of them. It's like, alright, well I guess you can have it. You going this way? Okay, well you're gonna stop me. Alright, then that's cool. We'll cut these 2 out then. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make this complaint because this annoys the shit out of me. Volbeat was the only one alive and it used Protect, which all it did was waste my turn, so I had to wait another turn to use Protect. For fuck's sake, unless you're in a double battle position where you have like your opponent using Earthquake or some shit, Protect is not a move you should use unless it's like that situation, because otherwise you're just wasting a turn. You're gonna get killed one way or the other. Just face it. Okay, more fights to get out. Alright, this I can't get over. I have to complain about this. Why in the holiest of fucks did I get hit with Shockwave by a Pelipper? I need to know how and why that even happened, because I'm thoroughly confused. So, aside from those 4 battles, I've taken a beating, so we're gonna go ahead and heal, then cross that bridge, and then we're gonna go home and quit because I'm tired. And it's all I studied up to. Like, I saw the guy in that little cave, so I imagine he's probably our next opponent anyway. But, just in case he's not, I'm not going to fight him. I'll save that for next time. I think we at least did a decent amount of progress. There's not nearly as many Shadow Trainers as I remember on here. There's been, I want to say, more fights to cut out than there have been anything else, but I mean, that's kind of, I guess, expected. So, let's go ahead and kick his ass real quick, and then we'll purify some shadows. We'll try and see if we can throw Magneton in there too, because Magneton's pretty close, and he's been doing pretty well, and I think he deserves his time off before he even crosses bridge. I need to save the goddamn game. 56. Alright. 56. My 83 minus 56. 83 minus 50 is 33. Minus 6 is 27. 27 left. Minus 1. 25 left on this island. Son of a bitch. There you go. Hi, how's it going? Wahaha, you thought there was no one this way, didn't you? No, I knew it because I looked. There's this cool thing called the internet. It did exist in 2006. 2005, actually, because that's when this game is. This feels more like a 2006 game to me for some reason, though. I don't know. It just does. I remember one of the last games to be released on the GameCube was that Surf's Up game. That was the last one I can possibly remember being released for the GameCube, at least. So, yeah, it based on the previews and trailers and stuff, it looked like it was at least an okay game. Like, what would be just a theatrical wave race or something. I never picked it up. I mean, I could. The main thing that's stopping me is I'm actually trying to get games that I want to LP first, so this way I have something, you know, to fill in the gaps, because I don't feel I've got enough games like that on the Wii or N64 or GameCube, excuse me. N64, I'm loaded with shit like that. You guys know that because that's the majority of my content. Not because, well, I mean, I suppose you could argue I like living in the past, but it's mostly, hey, I can get this game, like, dude, I just bought GoldenEye Wii for like $10. That game came out 4 years ago, and it's $10. Like, that's great. You know, for me. That's kind of what I like. Like, Super Mario Galaxy now, when I got it, it was $20. Now it goes for like $10. So that's kind of a thing that I like, is rather than hash out $60 on a game, I'd rather just wait and then play catch-up for the next few years and, you know, get it later when it's $10. The only downside to this is things like, oh hey, Nintendo's shutting off their online, so if you like Rock Band, you can't get any DLC anymore unless you had it beforehand. That's about it. Which, I've tried to milk that as much as I can, and then Mario Kart Wii, I think I got in 2011? Yeah, 2011, that's right. So I at least got to enjoy the services for half the lifetime, which is pretty cool. That's a thing. Rapidash, that's a Pokemon we're gonna get. I kinda like Rapidash, I'm not crazy about it, but I think it's pretty cool all the same. That's all I really have to say about it. I know I haven't been going super like in-depth as far as like stats or whatever, but as totally rude as it sounds, I actually feel like most Pokemon you can kind of figure out how they are just based on looking at them. Like Rapidash, based on the name, you would assume is fast. And, well, like, I don't study this stuff. Like, I don't know their stats or anything off the top of my head. This is, you know what, no. Confuse Ray, Rapidash, and don't item. We can't item right now, we have to Shadow Half, because that's the way it goes. Yeah, no, I don't, like, study this. I usually just base it on their appearance or by my memory. Like, Steelix is obviously going to be defensive. Why the fuck else? It's a fucking Steelix. I only remember Sableye being, like, apparently crappy defensively because I've heard that, and people are like, oh, Sableye's a joke, it's not even a good Pokemon. And I'm like, really? Because anytime I fought it, it's always been a bitch. And that's mostly because I play by type, not by stats. Even though, I mean, you could probably argue the way I do it is wrong, but whatever. So yeah, I remember certain things, like, and when it comes to, like, something like Stadium, and I have it easy to my access, then yeah, I'll look at their... What? Can I not use Shadow Half 2 times in a row? Is that not a thing I can do? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, I just legitimately don't actually know the answer. I thought I could. Because I was going to do it one more time and then call it, but hey. Oh, that's interesting, I didn't know that. Well, you're going to die because you decide to have a hissy fit. So, just roll that around in your noggin while you're passing out from death. Yeah, there you go. Well, you didn't die, so... Shit. You know what? We're gonna go for it anyway, I guess. I'm gonna go after the Rapidash because Rapidash is weaker, and we're just gonna tell Arbok to fuck himself and just do another Shadow Half. Because I feel it's the safer method. That is kind of one benefit to Shadow Half, is it's really good for actually weakening shadows without a guarantee of killing it. So, there you go. And we got Rapidash, so there you go. Mag Cargo, looking at it, it's a safe assumption that it's slow because it's a snail. And it's also a safe assumption that it's defensive because it's a rock. So, I mean, there you go. I'm not particularly crazy about Mag Cargo, but after I saw Prince Boo go through Coliseum using Mag Cargo and he made it work pretty well, like, I can actually applaud it. It's like, okay, well, hey, if you do it right, you do it right. Because that is the way a lot of Pokemon go, actually. Like, some people will be like, oh, hey, this Pokemon's good because this, or whatever, I don't know how I'm explaining it, it's just awful. We're just gonna do an Ultra Ball, why the hell not? Oh, right, we gotta give you something to do, don't we? Oh, scare him. Make him go slower than the snail pace that he is. Also, one of the funniest things, I think, is the exaggerated information the Pokedex gives. Because apparently Mag Cargo is supposed to be hotter than the sun, which of course then leads to the result of how the fuck is the trainer even allowed to stand that close to a Mag Cargo without actually dying? So I just kind of, I love hearing things like that. Like, I could have swore it was like the heat inside its shell is supposed to be that, but it doesn't specify that in any of the Pokedex entries. So, yeah, I'm gonna cut me running out. You know, I'm just gonna meet you at the, I should get that fucking box, shouldn't I? At least. Because I was gonna show you where the next guy was, because he's totally blocking a door, and if he's blocking a door, chances are he's probably got a shadow Pokemon with him. Holy shit, you're another lady! No! We're getting this find out, I think. I don't know. Fuck, fuck, fuck. I stopped watching the video, so I don't know. So the good... What?! That's great! Please, 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 please. Good. Thank you. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. The good and obvious news, of course, was that they didn't have a shadow Pokemon. Beyond there is where I'll meet you the next time we start up. But as for now, I'm going to go ahead and transition me leaving Dark because I don't feel like that's a thing you want to see me do. So, yeah, next time I see you, we're going to be purifying shadows. Hooray! So there's going to be more than 6. Just a fair warning. We're going to go through these guys that are all ready to be purified, and then we'll grab the ones that are going to need sense next. Looking at the purified chamber, there's actually a few others that are pretty much going to be ready as well. Golduck just informed me that, hey dude, I'm chill, you can purify me and stuff now. So I'm going to have to go back and grab him in a minute. So it looks like we're going to have still the upper hand on having more Pokemon ready than... To put it simply, there's going to be empty purified chambers. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, we're going to have not enough room, I guess. We're catching up, we're keeping on top of it, and we're doing a good job at that, which I'm very happy with. Certainly a better job than we did with Coliseum, because Coliseum had 23 that I didn't have ready by the time of project's end, which is another thing, of course. Purifying these guys is a lot simpler, easier, and quicker. So, I mean, I guess that's to be expected, but yeah, that I'm happy with. Also, I don't know if I actually showed me purifying most of them or not. I want to say I did. Like, I know I showed the 23 there, and I know I showed, like, at least a first batch when we first had the ability, because there was an entire episode dedicated to that, but anywhere in between those, I don't remember. It's been that long. Spore. Spore's a really weird move. It's just like a shittier sleep powder, but since it's rare, it feels like it's kind of worth something for some reason. Oh great, you're evolving. Goody. So, one thing that I did say that I kind of do want to elaborate on, because I feel like there's like this funny thing that I've noticed. Yes, I do try to focus on getting games that I can LP. Like I said, I got GoldenEye Wii. That's a game I do want to LP. I feel kind of bad because the game looks honestly pretty shitty, and it makes me feel bad. Like, the environments look okay, but good God, if you look at James Bond in the mirror, you can see every pixel of his eye. That really disappoints me. And I'm usually not a stickler for visuals. It's just like, it feels... The character models just feel short. Like, I feel like Nightfire looked better. You know? It looks too cartoony. Twilight Princess looks better than that game. At least for character models and stuff. So that kind of bothers me. But I mean, like, eh. And yeah, GoldenEye Wii is one that I want to get LP. No, the funny part with that, though, is that I do, like, I've noticed with some LPers, they'll have, like, this one franchise that they, I don't want to say will be known for, but that they'll stick to and they'll do, like, every single game of and all that. Like, they'll frequently go back to this franchise. And for me, I feel like that's James Bond. Because I've done GoldenEye N64, I've done World's Not Enough, I did do Nightfire a long time ago with a camera, But I'm going to redo Nightfire. And then I also have GoldenEye Wii that I want to do. But before GoldenEye Wii and in between Nightfire, I also want to do From Russia with Love. So that right there is 5 games. And James Bond isn't really a thing you see many people LP either, which I feel kind of gets me. I guess like some uniqueness to it, even though I know not many people care for James Bond. But yeah, no, like that's a thing that I kind of stupidly pride myself on, is I feel like James Bond's my franchise. Like if you want James Bond, you're gonna like probably find me or something like that, because no one else does it like I do. And then I feel like for other LPers, an example, Lucagen would be all about the Barbie games. I don't watch Lucagen, but I mean, like, I know that's kind of a thing that happens. Josh Jepson would be like Rayman, because he's done the first 3 and Origins, and I want to say he's done a few others. I don't think he's done the shitty ones, but he's done at least that. Continue rant in a second. All these guys are greedy assholes, except for Golduck, because Golduck was already to be purified, so since he wasn't an asshole, he gets to go first. Anyway, other LPers that I feel like have their own kind of franchises. Like, I know NCS has been around for, like, before me. 2007, I'm pretty sure. But if I were to narrow his down, I would say it's mostly Zelda, because he's done literally every single Zelda to my knowledge. And, well, yeah, no, he has. He's done Link's Awakening too, I'm pretty sure. Zelda and Mega Man would probably be it, but I feel like Zelda's more prominent. I feel like when you think of... well, I mean, Zelda's also one that, like, everybody does too, so I mean, I guess that's not saying much. Chugga's kind of hard, because his is all over the place. Like, he doesn't do all the Mario games or whatever, he's just like, oh, I'll do what I feel like. And, if I were to narrow it down, like, the closest is Earthbound, and then second closest would be Pokemon, because he's done a shit ton of Pokemon games. And it's the closest thing he's done in order next to Earthbound. So those would be the ones I would say would be Chugga, and then Proton John would be, like, Ninja Gaiden, of course, and then Mario ROM hacks, even though he doesn't do every Mario ROM hack, nor is it in any order. But I mean, you know, it's the thing they're known for, and the Runaway Guys would be the Mario Party franchise. Like, you see the pattern I'm kind of getting at here, where it's like, oh, well, this person sticks to this franchise, you're always going to see LPs like this. Like, I don't have Agent Under Fire, but if I get it and I feel it's good, then that's a possibility for an LP. I've played Tomorrow... what is it? Not Tomorrow Never Dies, that's a movie. Everything or Nothing, there you go. I played that a second time, and it's worse than I remember, so I don't think I'd ever want... like, I bought it, and then I bought it for like $0.01, I think. And then I got rid of it. And my brother sold it for like, I think $5 or so, which is good that at least there was a profit that I didn't fucking make. But, like, I don't feel like that's a good game. It's just a shittier version of From Russia with Love. Agent Under Fire is the only other James Bond I could think of, and I mean, I guess I could give Quantum of Solace a second chance, maybe. But from what I remember renting it, it was really awful. So I don't think that's going to be it, so Agent Under Fire would be the only other James Bond. I know about 007 Legends, but I don't have a Wii U, and I heard that game's awful, but I mean, that's still one I want to try for myself. I'm just kind of disappointed at the fact that it's apparently awful, because the concept is super cool, and it's a James Bond game, which is super cool. So, that kind of disappoints me. Like, another one. Another James Bond game that I have that I don't think I'll ever LP, just because of its insane difficulty, is GoldenEye Rogue Agent, which I feel kind of attaches itself to the 007 Legends concept of like, oh, well, let's just make it about as much James Bond as we can. Which, like, it's cool, but the difficulty on that's just too much. Like, if I were to ever make any videos on it, it'd be for Song of Soaring. And it's crossed my mind, and I feel bad, because Rogue Agent I honestly do think is such a cool game. It's just too hard. It's too frustrating. Like, pretty much what it is it's this made-up universe where the James Bond characters are at war with each other and shit. And, you know, you get to play as just this other guy called GoldenEye, and there you go. You get to kill James Bond, you get to have fucking Scaramanga as your partner in crime and stuff. Like, it's cool. But it's just too frustrating. So, that rant aside, this is where I'm going to end off XD for now. these are going to be the team I start with next time. We will see you at Set of Dark when we return. I'm going to stock up on supplies. I'm going to see if I can't get any of these guys to work in the Purify Chamber. So, it's been fun. Next time, J4, see you. I'm going to save my game, I guess. Bye.